Hey everybody, Blaine here for Bridge4 Games. Today we're going to be looking at the Pokemon anime. Now, the Pokemon anime has been around since 1997, which is crazy to think that it's been around for 24 years. But it has, and our main character, Ash, who is loosely based on Red from the video games and from the manga, has been battling his way through various Pokemon conferences, through various competitions, all the way to becoming champion in the Galar region. So, it goes without saying that some of Ash's Pokemon are a little better than some others, so today what we're going to do is sit down with our tier list here, take a look at every single one of Ash's Pokemon, and we're going to see how good that Pokemon is in terms of its power level. Now, obviously guys, I have to go by somewhat special conditions here. I have to consider the way it's depicted in the anime. I can't just go with Pikachu as being a normal Pikachu, because it wouldn't be very high on the list, even though Pikachu has some incredible accomplishments under his belt in the anime. So, we are going to be looking at this in terms of the anime power level, instead of just the normal VGC power level. And additionally, any Pokemon that Ash, had temporarily and didn't actually have on the team, are not included in this list. So, the Raticate he traded for on the SSN, not on the list. The Haunter, the Haltimate against Sabrina, not on the list. You guys get the idea. So, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get started. And first up, obviously, is the man, the myth, the legend. Well, excuse me, the Mon, the myth, the legend, Pikachu itself. So, first up, we have Ash's Pikachu. Now, look. There are people out there who are automatically going to be like, boom, S tier. And then there are edgelords who are going to be like, haha, D tier, clickbait. But I think that it is neither of these. Right, here's my hot take. Ash's Pikachu has some incredible, absolutely incredible victories under its belt, okay? It has beaten ground-type Pokemon using electric moves. How does it do that? Who the heck knows? It single-handedly defeated a Latios and a Darkrai right before going to another region and losing to a Snivy. How does it do that? I don't know. Look, the bottom line is this. I think the answer is that Ash's Pikachu is very powerful. It objectively is very powerful, yet inconsistent. So I think the fact that it's inconsistent but powerful, and the fact that, frankly, it's Pikachu, lands it in this range here, in the A tier. I think it's too powerful to not be in the A tier, especially given, anime logic. But I just don't think it's any higher. I gotta be honest with you guys. People are not gonna like that, probably. But I gotta be honest with you, that is where Pikachu's gonna be. Alright, let's go on here to Ash's Butterfree. Now, the majority of Butterfree's sort of, feats of strength, if you will, happened when it was using things like Stun Spore. And then ended up leaving Ash to go get some booty with a female Butterfree. So I am going to periodically be checking my notes here about what each Pokemon of Ash's has accomplished, because each one sort of needs to be evaluated for what it can actually do, because you really have to consider the feats it's pulled off. Alright, so Joe Merrick has classified Butterfree as being a pivotal part of Ash's team. That being said, it's not bad. It does stuff, you know? It's just, but it's not here. It's not with Pikachu. Alright, so, it got murdered by a bunch of Butterfree, or a bunch of Beedrill, but instead of dying, it evolved, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna put his Butterfree at a B. I think that's... I think that's fair. I think that's a fair kind of assessment for what's going on here. I mean, look, we're kind of winging it with a lot of this, but... Let's see. So Ash's Pidgeot. Ash promised that he would come back and get Pidgeot after leaving it to protect a flock in a forest, and he never saw from it again. It's like that TV family on a sitcom when, a younger sibling goes up the stairs to go to bed and is never seen from again. So... if Pidgeot disappeared, it can't have been that important, yeah? I mean... I don't really know how I want to rank this thing. I don't remember it doing anything all that substantial in the anime. Like, I remember it being good, but, like, not that great. And then it just kind of, like, left and Ash didn't even remember it. So, like, I'm inclined to put it down here. I actually don't know if that's even right. Like, I don't remember doing as much as Butterfree did, so there we are. Alright, now we're coming around to Bulbasaur. Now, Ash's Bulbasaur refused to evolve. And it kicked a lot of ass as just Bulbasaur. This is actually the main reason so many people love Bulbasaur, too. I'm gonna put Bulbasaur in B tier. I think it gets the same special pleading kind of argument that, you know, other mons get because it's the anime and that's, you know, everything's made up and the points don't matter. Charizard. I think Ash's Charizard is definitely A tier. It has the power to be really, really strong if it cooperates, and most of the time it doesn't. So that's a bit of an issue. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it there. I think it's on a similar like level to Pikachu, you know. Even though it is not trained great in like the first movie and Mewtwo's clone handily beats its ass, but I think that's still okay. Let's see here. Ash's Squirtle was part of the Squirtle squad, right? So it got trained up quite a bit there, you know, it kind of went to the school of hard knocks. I think if we have Bulbasaur in B, Squirtle belongs in B too, especially considering how like tough it is. But I think both of these are probably higher than Butterfree. Ash's Kingler, I don't remember Ash ever doing a damn thing with Kingler. I'm gonna just come out and say it. I don't remember Ash ever using Kingler. I remember he caught one, and just to get, you know, wrecked at how much smaller it was than Gary's. Alright, so Ash's Kingler was used in both the Indigo and Johto leagues. He fell back on it where it was fine, but it never really did anything else. So this, you know what this reminds me of? I'm gonna tell you, this reminds me of, you know when you have, like, you're playing through a Pokemon game and you get to the Elite Four and you're like, I only got 5 good Mons. Like, I need something just for coverage. I'm just gonna grab this thing and just kind of hope it all pans out. I feel like that's what Kingler is. So I feel like Kingler belongs down here with Pidgeot. Primape is pretty interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, he only used the dang Primape once, but it was pretty tough, you know? It did go on, like, a pretty powerful rampage and decided to, like, you know, kind of kick some wholesale butt. I think this list needs another tier, if I'm being honest. Because, like, there are mons that, like, Ash has not used very much. But, like, Primape is objectively, I think, better than these two, at least in the anime. But it's like not on the same level as these, and it's certainly not awful. So I think it belongs here. I still don't think we've hit an S tier Pokemon yet. Sorry, Pikachu. Sorry, Charizard. Muck, I don't remember doing anything. I mean, and you know, this is coming from a guy who loves Muck. I think Muck is an amazing Pokemon. I think Muck is really an interesting concept. I like it a lot. But yeah, it has not battled. It basically just hangs out with Professor Oak and, you know, occasionally body slams Ash. That's all it's done. Tauros is also in the awful category. Ash has 30 of them. He doesn't ever use them. That's it. Like, that's all he does. Moving on here, guys. Mimey. His mom's Mr. Mime. Yeah, I don't really know where to put this thing. I know it's said to be pretty proficient in battle, which, you know, good for it. All right, so it's said that it has the moves Focus Punch, Barrier, Reflect, and Psychic. Okay, so like it's fought in some battles. I think, you know, it's like it's down here. Like if Kingler is a pinch hitter, then like 100% Mimey is a pinch hitter. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be in that range where it's just, you know, that's what it is. So Lapras, Ash mainly used it in the Orange Islands, right? And he mainly used it as conveyance to, like, get around. But he did use it in several of the Orange Island gyms, and he used it again in Johto. So, you know, between that and the fact that Lapras is used by Red, I think Lapras, you're pretty solid. You have a lot to offer, you know. I think you deserve a higher spot. I think you can be up there. Don't let me down though. I'll be mad. Ash's Snorlax. All right, let's see what Joe Merrick from Stirrapter has to say about Snorlax. Okay, so Snorlax was like an absolute beast for Ash. It stays at the professors most of the time, kind of along with like Charizard. Because of its eating requirements, Ash didn't think that he could take good care of it. And you know what? I'm gonna take a little second here. Props to Ash. A lot of the reasons he gets rid of the Mons are BS because he needs to swap out teams to go to the next, you know, year or whatever. But like, genuinely caring about the nutritional like requirements of your Pokemon. Way to go, Ash. You know what? Snorlax, A tier. Alright, Heracross. I remember attempting to do some X-rated things to Bulbasaur. That distinctly sticks out in my mind. Let's see. You know, Ash used Heracross quite a lot, right? I don't know. Like, I like Heracross, you know. It's fine. It's pretty good stats. I'm gonna put it up here. I think that's reasonable. Let's see now. Then we have Bayleaf. Let's see if Ash, what he did with his Bayleaf here. Alright, after evolving Chikorita, Bayleaf kept its longing feelings for Ash, which did end up getting it in trouble on several occasions. Uh-oh, that's going to show up in your report there. However, it did, after getting used to its size, managed to become a vital part of Ash's team and helped win many gym and league battles. Ash left it at Oaks when he decided to make a fresh start when he left for Hoenn. Man, Ash, so you took in this Pokemon and you were like, thanks, f*** off. Okay, that's kind of messed up, but I like Bayleaf. I don't think, it's not on Charizard Pikachu level, but it is a solid B. Now we're going to look at Cualava. After Ash evolved it from Cyndaquil, it lost its like sort of power requirement thing where it had to get like warmed up to start its fire, and it became apparently a really tough member of the team. I'm going to put this right here with Bayleaf. I think they're very similar in nature, so if one is here, the other one kind of has to be here. They're both middle evolutions, you know. They're both kind of the right kind of framework for what you want here. So yeah, okay, so Ash's Totodile really just clamped down on Tails and danced a whole lot. It really didn't do very much. It was a great cheerleader, but we're not talking that kind of thing now. We're talking, you know, power, like actual power. This hurts, man. I love Totodile. But I think Totodile's got to be down here with Mr. Mime. Wow, that stings me in ways that it should not sting me. That is unfortunate. All right, now we're on to Noctowl. It's shiny, which is pretty tech. Let's see. Yeah, it really just, you know, Ash's Noctowl is probably a great candidate for the C tier here because it's good. It's a little situational though, and it was really just kind of there to hit Ghost and be like the flying, like, useful mon now and then. I think Noctowl deserves to be down here with Primape. You know, it's not perfect, but I think that they are similar. They're both just like, you know, powerful. Objectively, they are powerful, but they're not like always the go-to the way the things in B are. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's take a look at Mr. Donphan here. Donphan is always, you know, I loved Donphan when it came out, and man, it is just not a good Pokemon. Competitively, at least. I love the look of it still. Let's see. So, it began the journey as a Fanpy, and it evolved. Gnarly. Let's see. Alright, so Donphan won several league battles, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's certainly better. Okay, so, like, it won league battles. Like, so we're in the same territory as this. Like, it won a bunch of battles and was strong, you know? So, like, I don't think it can go here because these guys just are not... They're not on the level. You know, we have, like... Here we have... I'm going to put this guy in B to start. But here we have, like, go-tos. Things that won. Like, events. Like, multiple times. They have kicked ass. They have taken names. End of story. These guys are just, like... They're real powerful, but they are not there all the time. And then these are just, like, your pinch hitters. And then these guys just, you know, they stay at home eating berries. Alright guys, so next up we have Swellow. So it evolved during a Pokeringer contest. Let's see. It's taken part in a lot of gym battles and leagues. It has a good amount of wins under its wings. Let's see. So Ash dumped it when it went to Sinnoh. It's got more wins than Noctowl. I think it goes here. Like, again, I feel like things are going to clump around this area, but I feel like these are all just, like, good mons you bring to the team during their respective seasons. And that's another thing, guys, we can't compare. Do keep this in mind. We are kind of handling each Pokemon in its own season. So we can't really judge, like, Squirtle versus Incineroar. Like, it's not fair because they're from two completely different gens where things just worked wildly differently. And there's different Pokemon around, so you kind of have to, you know, take that into account because it's kind of a handicap for how they existed in their region. Alright, so now Ash does have a Sceptile here. It became a vital powerhouse in Ash's team, and it held its own against legendaries, including Deoxys and Regirock. Yeah, okay, so it's described as one of his biggest powerhouses. Alright, look guys, it's a fully evolved starter. It was able to hold its own against legendaries. Like, it is going in A. Shoutouts to M&J TV, shoutouts to True Green 7. Your boy, Sceptile, is currently tied with Pikachu, Charizard, and Snorlax in the A tier. So, that's awesome. It's not S tier yet. We're probably getting there. I think... I'm going to go on to say that I think there are 2 or 3 mons that are S tier. I don't think... And you know what, guys? If you hate me because you think Pikachu should be S tier, I'm sorry. I am sorry. But... I maintain what I said. It's not consistent. And, you know, it is what it is. Alright, Corphish. Ash had a Corphish. Crawdaunt was... excuse me. It's Corphish, not Crawdaunt. So Corphish was used a decent amount in the, you know, Ruby and Sapphire games, Gen 3 of the Hoenn games. But again, it was kind of there to be situational, you know? And I don't think it's on the same level as these, and it sure is not A, but I don't think it's down here. I think it gets to go next to Noctowl. I think Ash's Corphish, you know, factoring in, you know, nonsense anime rules, I think that is, I think that's a good place for it to go. Alright. So now we got Ash's Torkoal. Alright, let's see. Ash's Torkoal, Mitch McConnell himself. Torkoal is found under attack by a bunch of steel Pokemon in the valley. How does that work? Torkoal is a fire type and can melt the bejesus out of steel Pokemon. Alright. Let's see here. It's known to burst in tears when happy. Oh, that's cute. He has not been in many gym battles, but it is used in standard battles, and on many occasions it proves its strength in those battles. After the Hoenn League, he decided to give it time off at Oak's lab. Yeah, you know what? He didn't really use it all that often. It even says that in its bio. And because of that alone, I have to put it here in the C tier, which is unfortunate, because I do really like Torkoal. But you know what? That's okay. We're on to Glally. Ash's Pokemon based on a yokai. Terrifying, terrifying. Let's see. Glally. Alright, so Glally evolved right before Ash got into the Hoenn League. I could put it up here. Ash used it in the league because he thought it was powerful. Okay, guys. Hot take. Glally is a very good mon. I think Glally is going to be officially the lowest of the B tier, and I think that's where it has a good spot. I think it's well suited to be there. I think that's the correct call. All right, who's next? Apom. I hope it's not high because I don't like Apom. All right, so it was in a mountain worshipping a giant slacking. It stole Ash's hat just like Primape. Yeah, it was kind of just there, you know. It didn't really do a lot, but it's, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna put it down here, lower than Totodile for sure. Now time for Stirrapter. All right, Ash Stirrapter evolved from Stravia during a Pokemon contest against Honchkrow. Let's see. Oh, new close combat and was very helpful in flying battles. I want to be consistent. I feel like that's an important metric to hit here. Yeah, you know, despite what it says, it kind of has a similar sort of vibe to Noctowl. But yeah, I think it goes down here. Ash's Torterra, though, is pretty fantastic, I remember. You know, the starters are always pretty highly ranked. It's very strong. It's constantly referred to as like a powerhouse of Ash's team. Yeah, you know, okay, so I'm reading up on this. So Ash's Torterra struggles because it's slow and a little bulky, due to its increased size, and it wasn't really used to it. That being said, it's still incredibly powerful. I think that because of it having some liabilities, I think it is good. It's not A tier. I think it's a solid B. I think you know, Torterra is a very, very good mon. I think it's, you know, I think B tier is fair. All right, so we're going on to Infernape here. Infernape is just a massive beat stick. It, you know, used Blaze to unleash just a flurry of attacks. You know, it held its own against Berries and Polion. It is just so dang good. The only reason it lost to another Infernape because it didn't have as much experience as the other Infernape. You know, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt on this one. I think it deserves to be A tier. I think it's more powerful than Torterra, and I think it deserves to be on the list in the A tier because it's pretty tough. You know, Infernape is a very good mon, and I think that that's a fair place for it to be. So we're on to Buizel now. All right, so Ash's Buizel ended up being a bit of a powerhouse for him, and actually was very, very strong on his team. According to what I'm reading, it says he used Buizel quite a lot. It was very proficient in battles, and it had some pretty good moves, even though he didn't actually catch it. He traded for it, but I think, you know, the fact it's not fully evolved is not a deal breaker. I think it gets to go up here with, you know, like Bulbasaur and Squirtle. I think it's similar, you know, to them in terms of how it's composed. So I think that's actually a really good spot for it. All right, let's go down now. So we have Gliscor, a very interesting Pokemon. I like Gliscor. It's cool. Let's see. So it's saying when it was Gligar, it was weak. Not that great. Not that great. However, Gliscor didn't really get a lot of wins. It evolved and then was training more and more and then gradually became more powerful. Does he go here or does he go here? He's not down here and he's not here. He's in one of these two. You know, I think given his kind of unique situation on the team, the fact he wasn't around for a while, I think it's going to go to the C, along with, like, Torkoal. Like, I feel like Corphish is, like, way down here, along with probably Primape, and then, like, something like this is, like, the actual, like, C order. So, alright, now, Ash also had a Gibble. He could have evolved it into Garchomp, but we all know how Ash feels about Evos. Yeah, man, so friggin' Gibble, man. So it's pseudo-legendary mon. It's got incredibly strong jaws. So it knows Dragon Pulse and Draco Meteor and Dig. Like, and the picture even is it in like a pretty high-profile battle here. I think, if anything, deserves to be B. Like, it's in Bulbasaur territory now. We're just talking about a level, you know, like a starter mon that's just, or a stage 1 mon that's just a powerhouse in and of itself, and that is definitely Gibble with these guys. All right, now we have, let's see here, Unfezant. Yeah, you know, it says it has good moves, but again, it didn't do anything nuts. So, like, I feel like it literally is in this. So, like, I'm noticing a trend here that, like, all of Ash's flyers are just there because they're flyers, and, like, they're not, like, these kind of powerhouses. So, like, coincidentally, I think this makes sense that they're all sort of, like, clumped like this. You know what? Upon revising this list, guys, given what we now know, I think Pidgeot belongs up here. 'Cause it seems like all of Ash's flyers are like good. Not they're all the time, he doesn't use them all the time, you know, but they are situationally helpful. And given like the low caliber here, I feel like these are just quite a bit better than these. So now we're on to Oshawott. Now I know Oshawott was a little afraid to fight, it didn't want to lose its shell on its tummy. Who could blame it? I know Oshawott went with him after Ash, I believe, lost to Snivy with his Pikachu because reasons. Look, okay guys, I want to say something real quick. So, Ash's Pikachu losing to Snivy, yes, I understand that Zekrom was in the area, it was screwing up Pikachu's lightning, his electricity. I get it. Here's the thing. Pikachu has been in hundreds of Pokemon battles. That Snivy was freshly being used by Ash's rival for that season, okay? In terms of just, like, put power aside, because Snivy resists electric anyways, right? The fact that Pikachu and Ash have hundreds of battles of tactical knowledge under their belt by itself should allow Pikachu to beat Snivy. Let's be honest here. So the fact that, you know, Snivy was able to beat Pikachu when Pikachu's powers are compromised, I understand. But it doesn't matter. Like, Pikachu was unable to use all of his combat training, basically, and like, just lost to a brand new starter. Unless that Snivy was trained by Sun Tzu, who wrote The Art of War prior to being a starter by Professor Juniper, there is no way Ash should have lost with Pikachu to that Snivy. So, like, if anybody's complaining about Pikachu not being an S tier, I present to you that battle, and I say, case closed. Gavel, camera, clack, clack, done. Alright, what was I talking about here? I was talking about Oshawott. Sorry, guys. That one battle really throws a wrench into the plans here. Yeah, so Oshawott is strong, but gets jelly kind of Pikachu's love for Ash and Ash's love for Pikachu. It wasn't a powerhouse. The term powerhouse, like powerhouse with problems, applies to level B here, and I don't think Oshawott is there. I love Oshawott as a Pokemon. I think it is adorbs time 100, but I think he is a... For all intents and purposes here, I think he is a C tier mon, unfortunately. Let's check out Ash's Pignite. Alright, so Ash's Pignite has some pretty good moves. It did win a sumo tournament and then started to wear a focus band, so it became even stronger. You know, I think it's in the starter kind of category where it's pretty well situated for a lot of things Ash is going to encounter. I think Pignite is B. I think it goes up here. Ash's own Snivy. Let's take a look now. It's a female Snivy that knows Attract. That's useful against his rival there. Look, Snivy is very hard to catch. It's very, like, kind of slippery. And the fact that it was able to... Now, I realize this is not the same Snivy, but we have to assume that Snivys are just so agile that they can apparently handle super strong Pikachus. So because of that, I think at the very least it needs to be here with the B tier mons. It also gets the same type of, like, you know, starters are good because starters kind of thing here. So I think because of that, bending the rules of the Pokemon universe, I think it's a B mon. I think that's fair. Next up, we have Scraggy here. Alright, so Ash got an egg in Route 3, and it hatched into Scraggy. Let's see. He's very aggressive and violent mon. However, its moves are not strong. It's proven itself in battle, but it's not a powerhouse. I don't think it's down here. I think it's here for now, and, you know, that's probably a reasonable place for it. Let's see. Next up is Seawaddle. Or is that Leavanny? Yeah, it is Leavanny. Okay. Let's see. So, let's see. It evolved against some Durant. Used it against Roxy in the Unova League. Interesting. It's been used in a lot of different battles. Okay, I see you, Leavanny. Yeah, I think given, you know, the BS of the story, I think it belongs in B tier. Now let's check out Timpole. I don't like Timpole at all. It reminds me of Danger Seaman. If you guys have ever seen that game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's see here. So, oh, it lost to Oshawott's Aqua Jet. Jeez. Let's see, guys. Let me think here. So, he used it against Roxy and Unova also. It may have to be another Beamon. I think that's odd, but I think it actually fits in pretty well there. Next up is Baldor. It defeated Clay's Extra Drill, which is insane because, you know, ground type. And steel type. But anyways, it was Rock and Rolla and powerful attacks. Let's see. We don't see a lot about it, you know. But that being said, I think it's here. Like, Ash kind of using it a lot, puts it higher, I think, than down here. Crocodile with the shades. Alright, so it evolved from Krokorok during a battle against Iris's Dragonite. That is pretty sweet. Got Dig, Stonage, and Crunch, and it has Dragon Claw. I think it's not A tier. I think it's B tier. Greninja. Okay, guys. So, we're talking Ash Greninja. Alright, Ash Greninja brought him to the brink of the finals. And it brought him to the finals. He did not win in the Kalos League, whatever. There's no other way to slice this, guys. Ash Greninja is S tier. It literally is able to hold its own against Megas because magic. So it is consistent. It did not always win because it did objectively lose, you know, in the finals. But it is so dang powerful and so dang strong. I feel like you absolutely have to have it in the S tier because there's just no reason not to. It just, because it confused with Ash in that way, it's just so unbelievably powerful. Like, there's no reason not to. Alright, next up is Talonflame. It evolved into Talonflame against Moltres. You know, I think because it was able to hold its own against the Legendary, it's up here, whereas the other birds are down here. But Talonflame is really strong anyways, so I think it gets a little bit of a boost there. Alright, next up is Ash's Howlucha. Howlucha handled many of the gyms in Kalos, so because of that, I feel like it is easily a B-Mon, if not an A-Mon. Let's see. Now, next up is Goodra. I like Goodra. I don't know if anybody has any problems with Goodra, but Goodra, Alright, so Ash left it behind to guard the wetlands in Kalos, but he can summon it at any time. I mean, it's a pseudo-legendary mon. I think it's in B tier. It didn't really have a chance to shine yet in Kalos, so I think it has to go there. I think that's pretty accurate for it. Let's check out Noivern. Alright, so Noivern went to take on Zapdos. Holy cow. It's got Dragon Claw, a bunch of really big moves. I think Noivern goes in B tier also. I think, you know, Ash has a lot of mons in this range that are like good for Ash, not great for anybody else, but for Ash, they are just insane. Let's check out Rowlet. Dressed to the nines is Decidueye. Let's see. It was living with the Pikipek, Trumbeak, and Toucanon. Ash's Rowlet swallowed a Everstone, so it's never going to evolve. Alright, guys, I need to be honest here, okay? I really like Rowlet. I really do. Like, Rowlet is a great mon, but it spent most of its time sleeping, and the time that it didn't sleep, it had trouble leveling up to get moves, and it swallowed the Everstone. I think it has to go here. This now, Lycanroc Dusk. This is a hard one because it did win Ash the Alola Championship against Gladion's Lycanroc Midnight. This is tough because I think it has, like, I think objectively it's better than some of the mons in A. But I don't think, I think Greninja, Ash Greninja specifically needs to be in the S tier. I think Lycanroc is probably like here. I think it's better than Sceptile and Infernape. Not, you know, quite up to snuff here, but I think that that's a good spot for it. It has to be at least an A because it did just too much in its tenure. Let's look at Incineroar. I love Incineroar too. What it did for the meta is bad, but I think Ash's Incineroar is probably really strong because it was holding its own in the league as a Litten. Or sorry, as a Torracat. So, you know what? I'm going to actually put Incineroar up here in A tier. I think that's appropriate for it. Next up we have Naganodel. Now we're getting into some of the crazy mons in the region. Naganodel and Melmetal. Now I know he didn't keep the Naganodel forever. Yeah, Naganodel was fighting off, like, you know, Ultra Beasts and stuff like that, which are just way more than what we see in the league in a lot of these matches. So, because of that, I feel like it's got to be A tier because it's just such a good mon. Like, the fact that it can hold off Ultra Beasts, like, kind of with no problem is, you know, pretty significant. So, Melmetal. In the Kalos League, or sorry, in the Alola League, not Kalos, Alola. It began as a Meltan, it called its Meltan buddies, and it became a big old Melmetal to face Gladion. Now, here's the thing, guys. It lost to Gladion Silvally, which, like, is pretty interesting. So, it lost even though it knew Double Iron Bash. This is very troubling to me because I feel like it should have no problem winning that matchup. Especially because Ash, like, his Gladion was good, but it's not like, you know, super duper overpowered. You know, Ash didn't own... Okay, here's what I'm going to do, guys. It's objectively strong. It's definitely in the B range, but it needed a bunch of other, you know, Meltan to get to the point where it could actually even function like this. So, you know, Ash didn't, like, actually own and train all of them. So I think by default, that kind of pseudo disqualifies it from being any higher than C. So I think it actually is going to be a C-Mon, which may seem harsh, but I think it's appropriate. Now we're on to Galar, and we have... Now, I just want to say one thing, guys. I know I talk a lot about, like, the logic of the anime, and to which, you know, a lot of people are probably saying, what logic, LOL, but here's the thing. Ash's team right now, he has Dragonite, Gengar, Lucario, Sirfetch'd, Dracovish, and the world's strongest Pikachu. If he finds a way to lose, his team is cracked out. Like, he should never be able to lose any games. If he does, I don't know what's going on. So, the Dragonite has got all these super powerful moves. It is unbelievably loyal to Ash. You know, I think this Mon is, like, it's just so good. It's a very, very strong Mon. I think it has to end up being an A tier. And then next up we have Ash's Gengar. What has Gengar done so far this season? It just knows Shadow Ball and Nightshade. Let's see. It was dumped by a trainer and Ash picked it up. So not much is, like, really known about it, even though it is powerful. Now, Tom is probably going to disown me because of this, but I think it's more B tier than A tier. Mainly because these Pokemon have really proven themselves, whereas we're kind of still waiting on that on Gengar. So I think that because of that, it's B tier. But, like, B tier isn't bad, you know, it's just not the, you know, highest non-S tier. So, let's see. Ash also has Lucario. Yeah, so Riolu was Ash's, like, ace. Like, he sent that out first every time. And then it became Lucario. Let's see, and it was Aura Sphere. Like, it's pretty darn good. I think it's got to be A, because Lucario is just so unbelievably strong. I'm going to take a look at Sirfetch'd now. Alright, so it was very agile. It evolved after, you know, proving itself in battle. I'm very tricky with this one because I'm not really sure where it belongs. I don't think it's A tier. I mean, just look at the Mons we have in A tier. I think, though, it is a solid B. And like, you know, maybe in the upper echelon of B. But B has a lot of good Mons, so it's a little tricky. And last, but certainly not least, guys, we have Dracovish. I love Dracovish. It is an amazing Pokemon, but it kind of just went into his team and then disappeared forever. Like, he never really used it, to the best of my knowledge. Dracovish is strong, for sure. I think Dracovish goes here in B. Even though we haven't seen it used a lot, there's still more, you know, episodes to come. I think Dracovish is going to find a home, and a good home, and I think it's going to be used on Ash's team to hopefully some benefit. You know, I could be mistaken, but I think that that's a fair assessment of the situation. So, that's all I have for you guys. Our overall winner is Greninja. This may upset a few people. I'm sorry if it does. Do remember, this is just my opinion, so if your opinion is different, that's awesome. You have your own opinion? Wonderful. So, I think solely the fact that Battle Bond Greninja is a thing, you have to get some bonus points because of that, which is why, you know, it sort of cheats its way into S tier, but I think that it's, you know, certainly a fair thing to have happen. And then our A's are Pikachu, Charizard, Snorlax, Lycanroc, Dusk, Sceptile, Infernape, Incineroar, Naganodel, Dragonite, and Lucario, and everything else you guys can see on screen. So guys, that's all I have for you. I hope you guys, you know, appreciate me breaking down all of Ash's Mons and which ones are the most powerful according to the anime. So this has been a ton of fun. I love doing things like this, really breaking down info and taking a look at things. So let me know what you think about this in the comments, guys. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you love what I said? Do you hate what I said? All of it's good. Share your comments. No harm, no foul. So guys, that's all I have for you. Again, thank you so much for being here. If you guys like this kind of content, please make sure that you like this video and woohoo! Do what the pillow says. Please, every single one, every single of the button. helps more than you guys could possibly know, and every single subscription matters so much to us, and we are super grateful for every single one. So thank you all for watching. We're going to see you guys in the next one. Have a great night. Bye-bye!